I'd like to introduce the winner of our speech contest, Mary Rose Green.
Before the late 1800s, most of the world was promoting life. That was only a little under 2 centuries ago. After that, nations started tolerating abortions and even started legalizing it, starting with Russia in the 1920s. I was fortunate, though, to be born into a family in Ukraine that went against the culture. Although the culture was telling my birth parents that abortion was the easiest option since they could not raise me, they decided to go against that. They decided to give life, they decided to put me up for adoption, and ultimately they decided to be pro-life. Another pro-life family from America brought me here and made me as though if I were one of them. Let me pose 2 simple questions to my audience. First, why does the world not respect life as much as we used to? And second, where has the teaching of the dignity of each human person gone? I believe the answer to both of these questions is the culture. It produces lies about the sanctity of life. Schools, work environments, and even some churches today are telling us that life is not valued until you reach a certain status in your career, or even until you reach a certain age. Many dehumanizing topics have been and are still circulating within these environments. I will be focusing on the issues of abortion and embryonic stem cell research, which devalue the worth of a human person, but particularly the unborn. Let me start with a few statistics. Many of you might already know these numbers. However, some of us need a reminder of why we are fighting for life. According to the American Life League, in just the US alone, there have been over 61 million abortions total. In the world, there is an estimate of 40 to 50 million abortions per year. That makes it over 1.72 billion abortions over the past 40 years. That's 1.72 billion abortions. These numbers are only including medical abortions, meaning that these numbers do not include illegal abortions done in history. In an article by Ryan Foley, statistics show that abortion rates surpass the leading cause of death in 2020, therefore making abortion the leading cause of death within the past year. Although terrible news is sad, it does not daunt us from our pro-life cause. It rather invigorates our desire to stand up for life. In an article by Pro-Life Update, joyful news is in store. In the beginning of this year, during the 40 Days for Life, 454 babies were saved through your prayers. Many scientific reasons can be given as to why abortion is wrong. Quote, he has his own circulatory system, his own organs, his own blood type, and his own fingerprints. From the moment of conception, he was his own person and very much alive, unquote. Said by Nancy Flanders in an article she wrote titled, Here's Why Abortion is Wrong, the Science. Further on in the article, Flanders declares that science can prove that the child is alive because it has a heartbeat as early as 16 days, and it is growing, and growing things are living. Though many more scientific reasons can be given, let me move on to the deeper side of this, the consequences that come with abortion. Abortion not only kills the child, but it hurts the mother as well. Though through many years, women have testified that they experience psychological, physical, and spiritual pain after an abortion. God's word clearly states that you shall not murder. Furthermore, all of our actions should be done to glorify God. Morally, abortion is wrong since it denies the child a human life. Although abortion is one of the most debated topics in our society, stem cell research is another idea presented to us. Now, stem cell research is known to be good. The outcome is all meant to help science research for the medical field. However, it is the type of stem cell research that must be investigated. Embryonic stem cell research is morally evil, and it dehumanizes a person, an unborn person particularly. What seems to be good is coming from an evil means. These stem cells are extracted from embryos 3 to 5 days old. This is life made by scientists in a lab, but then destroyed. Every part of that sentence is logically wrong and morally evil. While our medical field tried to produce a vaccine for our current situation with COVID-19, there have been many sources that prove that Johnson & Johnson have used aborted fetus cells to create their vaccine. When scientists make an experiment with drugs and various resources, they are required to take notes and data on experiments and progress. As seen through many of these reports, there are fetal cells being used to create this vaccine. They say they use XB293 or Thermo Fisher cells. However, as I was researching how these cells were derived, I found that these cells were obtained from an aborted fetus in 1973. The report I found was from a meeting on May 16, 2001, where Dr. Alex von der Ebb explains how he found and extracted the cells from an aborted fetus and then isolated them. In section 6, page 77, he clearly states that the child was in perfect shape and there was nothing wrong. The COVID-19 vaccine is using these human embryonic kidney HEK293 cells to create this vaccine. For some warped reason, our medical field is using these embryonic stem cells to help us. But is it truly? Mother Teresa once said, "It is a poverty to decide a child must die so that you may live as you wish." The words of the saint can be applied to abortion and embryonic stem cell research. Every single life is a gift from God, and I am not willing to let them be destroyed, no matter the circumstance. I wish to make America pro-life, and one way to succeed in this goal is to act upon what we believe. I ask you today, fellow Americans and friends, to stand beside me for the rights of all children, especially those who are not as fortunate as me to be given the chance to live or were not given love. God bless you, and God bless the pro-life cause.